that Kamaru Usman will indeed fight Leon Edwards in the trilogy in London, England. News so big, Ryan, that you will go to London because you're that big a Kamaru Usman fan. Bro, how big is that news? Because for a while we thought that Usman wasn't going to fight because of his injuries. He is in the fight. Trilogy's on. Ryan Clark's in London, England. Big news.
Well, the first thing is I am a huge Kamaru Usman fan, but I'm also a Leon Edwards fan, which makes me a huge fan of this fight. DC, when we think back to how the second fight between these two men ended, the only word I can think of is electric, and the other word that would be after that would be shocking. So I guess I can think of two words. That left kick that went to the head of Kamaru Usman, that knocked the eyes to the back of his skull, was something that no one expected, came out of nowhere, and I think Kamaru Usman thought that as well. And a guy who had dominated that entire fight as a champion, for him to lose that way, I just keep thinking back to you guys sitting octagon side and John Anik pretty much missing the kick and only being able to see it or notice it because he was basically speaking Leon Edwards' eulogy, was absolutely phenomenal. But now they get a chance to settle that score, and they're going to settle that score on Leon Edwards' home turf, and I am so excited about it, and that's why I'm going. I can't wait. I'm going to be out there all week. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to get an accent before I come back. I'm going to tour, and it's going to be capped off Saturday night by watching these two great champions, because they've both been champions, go to war for the third time. When you heard that this fight was finally made after kind of double dutching between who would be Leon Edwards' challenger in his first title defense, how excited were you that Kamaru Usman is now going to be the guy?
Hey, RC. Two Louisiana boys, we're going to see Buckingham Palace. We're going to see Buckingham Palace, you and me. We going out there. And DC and RC going on the road. We might film the show in front of Buckingham Palace on them.
Let's do it.
That's what we trying to do out there. But the reality is this. I was excited because there's a lot of questions for me now in regards to the fight, RC, because how does Kamaru approach this fight after what happened? Because you develop a bit of an invincibility factor to you when you did what Kamaru Usman did to start his UFC career, win the championship, be on the run that tied Anderson Silva as the longest undefeated streak to start a UFC career in history. But then when you get put out like that, and in the very next fight, you fight that same guy, there's got to be some overlaying remembering of what happened inside the octagon.
It's got to be some trepidation.
When it wasn't just the kick, it was Leon Edwards in the first round taking him down, controlling him on the ground for the vast majority of round one, then him coming back and winning the next 3 rounds, and it feeling like the fight was over, and then him landing that head kick that puts Kamaru Usman out in the way that he did. There's got to be it's got to linger a little bit for the former champion Kamaru Usman. And what about the confidence of Leon Edwards knowing that if he can get his shot off, he can put Usman out, but also remember that he was able to have moments in that fight, have the fight happen in London. That place is going to be bananas when those two dudes get locked inside the octagon. I can't wait, man.
DC, you know, I don't know that feeling, right? Like you go into enemy turf, and that's playing in Baltimore, or that's playing in New England. But you got your dogs with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm walking in there. I got Troy Polamalu. I got James Harrison, Big Ben. What is it like when you truly walk into enemy territory, and when they close the fence behind you, you're by yourself staring at one of the other baddest men in the world?
RC, for me it was always enemy territory because they always booed me. It seemed like people were always rooting for the other guy.
Shut up.
It was like
Everybody loves you. Stop.
No,
Stop.
RC, you would think RC, one place in my life I felt like the crowd was behind me, and it was in Boston of all places. Boston. They rooted for me like I was from there.
You had to be fighting an awful person.
I walked out, and it was always constant boos. It was constant boos.